Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. First of all, let us thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his blessing and mercy so we can gather here today in good health and condition. Before we begin the presentation, let us introduce ourselves first. My name is Hikmatul Aziza and my partners are Syifa Wildayani Rukmana, Zeni Nopianti, Artika Sopianur, Dinda Syariatul Islamiyah, and Silpa Laila Rahma. So today, we would like to present our discussion entitled Islamic Controversy in Modern Science. In this presentation, we will discuss how Islam responds to the rapid development of modern science and digital technology. We will also explore Islamic perspectives related to Aqidah, digital ethics, Maqasid al-Shari'ah, and the integration between Islamic values and modern science. Our discussion will cover several important points including the Islamic Aqidah perspective on digital technology, the position of digital knowledge in Islamic epistemology, Quranic and Hadith foundation for digital ethics, the role of Maqasid al-Shari'ah in evaluating technology, the integration of Islam and modern science, and the challenge and opportunities faced by Muslims in digital era. Before starting the presentation, let us begin today's presentation by reciting the Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And we hope this presentation can broaden our understanding about the relationship between Islam and modern scientific development in today's modern world. Without further ado, let us begin the presentation. The first is the Islamic Aqidah perspective on the development of digital technology in the concepts of Tawhid and Khalifah. From the perspective of Islamic Aqidah, the development of digital technology is considered part of the intellectual ability that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted to human beings. Technology is not something to be worshipped or fully depended on, but rather a tool or wasilah that helps humans fulfill their needs and improve their quality of life. In Islam, the concept of Tawhid teaches that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only source of power, knowledge, and authority in the universe. Therefore, all scientific discoveries and technological advancement ultimately come from Allah's permission and wisdom. Muslims are encouraged to use technology as a means to strengthen worship, spread beneficial knowledge, and support social welfare. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say in the Al-Quran, Quran Surat Al-Baqarah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Wa'allama Adam al-asma'a kullaha, and he taught Adam the names of all things. This verse explains that Allah granted knowledge and intellectual ability to human beings. The ability to create and develop technology is part of the knowledge bestowed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, technological advancement should be used responsibly and in accordance with Islamic values. The concept of Tawhid also reminds Muslims not to become excessively dependent on technology. In the modern digital era, technologies such as artificial intelligence or AI, social media, and big data provide many benefits and conveniences in communication, education, business, and daily life. However, if technology is not balanced with spiritual and moral values, it may lead to negative impact such as misinformation, addiction to social media, cybercrime, and moral degradation. Islam teaches that humans must remain conscious and technology is only a reaction of human effort under Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala permission, while ultimate reliance should always remain upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states in the Quran, Surat Al-Isra, ayat 36. وَلَا تَقْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ إِنَّ السَّمْعَ وَالْبَصَرَ وَالْفُؤَادَ كُلُّ أُولَئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. And do not follow that of which you have no knowledge. Indeed, the hearing, the sight, and the heart, all of those will question it. This verse teaches Muslims to be careful in receiving and spreading information, especially in the digital era where misinformation and hoax and can spread easily through social media and online platforms. Besides the concept of Tawhid, digital technology is also closely related to the Islamic concept of Khalifah. In Islam, humans are appointed as Khalifah or vicegerents on earth, meaning they have the responsibility to manage and utilize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creation wisely and responsibly. This responsibility includes developing science and technology for the benefit of humanity while avoiding harm and destruction. Muslims are encouraged to use digital technology for positive purposes such as education, da'wah, research, healthcare, public service, and economic development. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran Surat Al-Baqarah ayat 30, Inni ja'ilu fil ardi khalifah, indeed I will make you upon the earth a khalifah. This verse explains that humans have a responsibility to manage life on earth wisely. In the modern era, this responsibility also includes using digital technology ethically and productively for the welfare of society. Furthermore, the role of humans as Khalifah requires ethical awareness in using technology. Muslims should avoid using digital platforms for spreading hatred, hoax, fraud, or harmful content. Instead, technology should be directed toward promoting justice, honesty, cooperation, and social responsibility. Islamic values provide moral guidance so that technological development remains beneficial and does not damage human dignity or social harmony. So, in conclusion, Islamic Aqidah views digital technology as both a blessing and curse from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Through the principle of Tawhid and Khalifah, Muslims are encouraged to utilize technology wisely, responsibly, and ethically. Technology should not replace human dependence on Allah, but rather serve as a tool to improve knowledge, welfare, and the quality of human life while remaining consistent with Islamic teaching.
Okay, the next material is the position of digital knowledge in the hierarchy of Islamic knowledge. Number 1 is digital knowledge in Islamic epistemology. In the epistemology of Islamic studies, knowledge produced through digital technology is considered empirical and rational knowledge. This means that the knowledge is obtained through human reason, observation, experience, and research. Islam recognizes that humans have intellectual abilities granted by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to understand the world and develop science and technology. Okay, number 2 is function of digital technology. Digital technology plays an important role in modern life because it helps humans to produce information, store data, process knowledge, and spread information more quickly and widely. Therefore, digital technology becomes a useful tool in education and the development of knowledge. Number 3 is revelation as the highest source of knowledge. Although digital technology is important in the hierarchy of Islamic knowledge, its position remains below revelation. The highest source of knowledge get Islam are the Quran and the Sunnah. This is because revelation comes directly from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and serves as the ultimate foundation of truth. Meanwhile, digital information is produced by human reasoning, which can change, develop, and even contain errors. Number 4 is need for verification. Because digital information is not always accurate, every piece of information must be examined through scientific method, valid evidence, and Islamic value. In Islam, there is a principle called tabayyun, which means verification before accepting or spending information. This principle is very important in the digital era because so much information on the internet may not be reliable or trustworthy. Number 5 is relationship between technology and religion. Islamic epistemology does not see religion and technology as contradictory. Instead, both can complement each other in building a civilization based on Islamic values. Digital technology contributes to the development of Islamic studies through Number 1 is digitalization of classical manuscript. Number 2 is access to read literature. Number 3 is online learning. And the last one is the spread of Islamic technique through digital media.
The next material is the Quranic and Hadith Foundation as the basis of Islamic digital ethics. The Quran and Hadith provide fundamental principles that guide Muslim behavior in all aspects of life, including the use of digital technology. Although the Quran and Hadith do not specifically discuss the internet, social media, or other modern digital technologies, they establish ethical values that can be applied to contemporary digital interaction. Pada bagian ini, kita membahas bagaimana Al-Quran dan Hadis menjadi dasar dalam membangun etika digital Islam. Meskipun pada masa Rasulullah belum ada internet, media sosial, atau teknologi digital seperti sekarang, nilai-nilai yang diajarkan dalam Islam tetap relevan untuk digunakan dalam kehidupan digital modern. Islam mengajarkan berbagai nilai moral seperti kejujuran, tanggung jawab, keadilan, menjaga privasi orang lain, serta memastikan kebenaran suatu informasi sebelum mempercayai atau menyebarkannya. Nilai-nilai tersebut tidak hanya berlaku dalam kehidupan nyata, tetapi juga dalam aktivitas kita di dunia maya. Oleh karena itu, etika digital Islam sebenarnya merupakan penerapan ajaran moral Islam dalam penggunaan teknologi digital. One of the most relevant Quranic foundations for digital ethics is found in Surat Al-Hujurat, which instructs believers to verify information received from unreliable sources before acting upon it. This salah satu landasan utama etika digital terdapat dalam Surat Al-Hujurat ayat 6. Dalam ayat ini, Allah memerintahkan umat Islam untuk memeriksa dan memverifikasi informasi yang diterima dari sumber yang belum jelas kebenarannya. Konsep ini dikenal dengan istilah tabayun. Di era digital saat ini, prinsip tabayun sangat penting karena informasi dapat menyebar dengan sangat cepat melalui media sosial. Banyak berita palsu atau hoaks yang beredar dan dapat menimbulkan kesalahpahaman maupun konflik. Oleh karena itu, sebelum membagikan informasi, seorang muslim harus memastikan bahwa informasi tersebut benar dan dapat dipercaya. Another important principle is the prohibition of spreading slander, backbiting, and harmful speech. Surat Al-Hujurat warns believers against suspicion, spying, and gossiping about others, while Surat An-Nur condemns the circulations of unverified accusations. Selain itu, Al-Quran juga melarang perilaku yang dapat merugikan orang lain melalui ucapan maupun tulisan. Dalam surat Al-Hujurat ayat 12, Allah melarang prasangka buruk, mencari-cari kesalahan orang lain, dan menggunjing. Sementara itu, surat An-Nur ayat 15-16 mengancam penyebaran tuduhan yang tidak memiliki bukti. Ajaran ini sangat relevan dengan kondisi media sosial saat ini, di mana sering terjadi perundungan cyber dan ujaran kebencian, penyebaran fitnah, serta pelanggaran privasi. Islam menekankan pentingnya menjaga kehormatan dan martabat setiap manusia sehingga pengguna teknologi digital harus berkomunikasi dengan sopan dan tidak merugikan orang lain. The hadith also provides ethical guidance for digital interaction. The Prophet Muhammad SAW said, "Whoever believes in Allah and the last day should speak good or remain silent." Sahih Al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. This teaching encourages Muslims to exercise self-control and responsibility in their speech, including comments, posts, and messages shared through digital platforms. Hadis Nabi Muhammad SAW juga memberikan pedoman yang jelas mengenai etika berkomunikasi. Rasulullah bersabda, "Barang siapa yang beriman kepada Allah dan hari akhir, maka hendaklah ia berkata yang baik atau diam." Hadis riwayat Bukhari dan Muslim. Hadis ini mengajarkan bahwa setiap Muslim harus bertanggung jawab atas apa yang diucapkan atau dituliskannya. Dalam konteks digital, pesan ini berlaku untuk komentar, unggahan, maupun pesan yang dikirim melalui berbagai platform online. Sebelum menulis sesuatu di internet, seseorang perlu mempertimbangkan apakah perkataannya bermanfaat atau justru dapat menyakiti orang lain. Selain itu, Rasulullah juga menekankan pentingnya sifat jujur dan amanah. Nilai-nilai ini sangat dibutuhkan dalam lingkungan digital untuk mencegah penipuan, manipulasi informasi, penyebaran berita bohong, dan berbagai bentuk pelanggaran etika lainnya. Dengan menerapkan kejujuran dan tanggung jawab, masyarakat dapat menciptakan ruang digital yang lebih aman dan terpercaya. In conclusion, the normative foundation of Islamic digital ethics are derived from both the Quran and the Hadith. Principles such as tabayun, honesty, respect for human dignity, responsible communication, and the avoidance of harmful speech provide comprehensive ethical guidance for navigating the digital world. Sebagai kesimpulan, Al-Quran dan Hadis memberikan dasar normatif yang kuat bagi etika digital Islam. Prinsip-prinsip seperti tabayun atau verifikasi informasi, kejujuran, menjaga martabat manusia, komunikasi yang bertanggung jawab, serta menghindari ucapan yang merugikan menjadi pedoman bagi umat Islam dalam menggunakan teknologi digital. Dengan menerapkan nilai-nilai tersebut, penggunaan teknologi tidak hanya memberikan manfaat bagi individu, tetapi juga dapat menciptakan keadilan, kebenaran, dan keharmonisan dalam masyarakat.
Maqasid al-Syariah is an evaluative framework for the impact of digital technology on Muslim welfare. Maqasid al-Shari'ah are the main objective of Islam law that aim to protect and bring goodness to human life. In Islam, there are 5 important things that must be protected. Number 1, protection of religion, or Hifz al-Din. Digital technology can help Muslims learn about Islam more easily through Quran application, online Islamic lecture, and da'wah on social media. However, the internet can also spread fake news, radical idea, and content that may weaken someone's faith. Therefore, technology should be used to strengthen religious understanding and belief. Number 2, protection of intellect, or Hifz al-Aql. Technology supports education and makes it easier for people to get knowledge through the internet, e-books, and online classes. However, excessive use of social media and harmful content can cause addiction, reduce concentration, and affect mental health. In Islam, technology should help people become smarter and more knowledge, not damage their way of thinking. Number three, protection of life or hifz al-nafs. Technology also helps human life in areas such as healthcare, emergency communication, and security system. On the other hand, there are negative impacts such as cyberbullying, online scam, and personal data theft that can harm people. The therefore technology must be used in way that means safety and respect for. Number four, protection of wealth or hifz al-mal. Digital technology creates opportunities for online business, Islamic vintage, and the digital economy. This can improve people welfare and financial condition. However, there are also risks such as online fraud, hacking, and digital money theft. Therefore, digital economic activities should be conducted honestly, fairly, and according to Islamic teaching. Number five, protection of lineage or hifz al-nasl. It means that Islam teaches people to protect families, children, and future generations so they can grow with good moral, ethnic, and a healthy life. In the context of digital technology, its al-nasl is related to protecting children from harmful online content, avoiding pornography and digital violence, maintaining proper ethnic and social media interaction, using technology for education and youth development, preventing negative influence that may damage family values and morality. Therefore, technology should help create a smart, moral, and mentally healthy generation instead of harming the future. This concept can be used to evaluate whether digital technology bring benefit or harm to Muslims. Maqasid al-Sharia help Muslims evaluate digital technology based on its benefit and impact. Technology should not only be judged by its sophistication, but also by whether it protects religions, intellect, life, and world. In this way, technology can be used to bring goodness and prosperity to society.
Next, the explanation about the integration of Islamic knowledge and modern science in developing digital technology based on Tawhid values. This topic discusses how Islam and modern science can work together to create technology that is useful, ethical, and beneficial for society. First point, Islam and science are complementary, not contradictory. In Islam, tough, religion and science are not enemies, but actually support each other. Islam encourages people to see knowledge and think critically about the world. Science helps humans discover and develop technology, while Islam gives moral guide about how that knowledge should be used. So the purpose of science in Islam is not only progress, but also human welfare and obedience to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. The second point, Tauhid becomes the foundation of technological development. The main foundation of this integration is Tauhid, which means believing in the ones of Allah. From the perspective of Tawhid, all knowledge comes from Allah and should be used responsibly. Technology should not only focus on profit or popularity, but also on justice, honesty, and social benefit. Humans are considered as Khalifah or leaders on earth. Because of that, people have responsibility to develop technology that help society and avoid harm. Third point, technology must follow ethical and spiritual values. Modern digital technology develops very fast, such as artificial intelligence, social media, and big data. However, without ethics, technology can create many problems like misinformation, cybercrime, social inequality, and moral degradation. That is why Islamic values are important. Technology should follow principles such as honesty, accountability, moderation, compassion, and justice. In other words, technological innovation must still respect human dignity and Islamic morals. Fourth point, the Quran and Sunnah provide moral guide. In this integration model, the Quran and Sunnah become the source of ethical direction. They teach Muslims how to use knowledge wisely and responsibly. Meanwhile, modern science provides methods, research, and practical innovation. So, religion gives moral guides, and science gives practical solution. Both work together to create balanced technological development. Fifth point, science and technology provide innovation and practical solution. Science and technology help humans solve many real-life problems. For example, digital technology can improve in education, communication, healthcare, and economic systems. Islam does not reject technological advancement as long as it gives positive impact to society. Technology can become a tool for strengthen human life and improve social welfare when it is used correctly. Sixth point is Islamic education should combine religion, science, and digital literacy. In education, Islamic knowledge should be integrated with science and digital technology. Schools and universities can create interdisciplinary learning that combines Islamic studies with technology, engineering, and digital literacy. Students should not only learn technical skills but also understand ethical and spiritual responsibilities in using technology. For example, digital learning platforms, Islamic education application, and Al assisted learning system can support this integration. Next is 7 point. Seven point is collaboration between scholars and scientists is important. The development of ethical technology cannot be done by one group only. Islamic scholars, scientists, programmers, and policymakers need to work together. This collaboration can help create digital systems that reflect Islamic ethical values. For example, ethical artificial intelligence, Islamic financial technology, and safe-only communication platform. Through cooperation, technology can become more humanly responsible and socially beneficial. So, in the conclusion, the integration of Islamic knowledge and modern science based on Tawhid values create a balanced approach to technological development. Islam provide ethical and spiritual guides, while science and technology provide innovation and practical solution. By combining religion, reason, and digital progress, Muslim can contribute positively to modern civilization while still maintaining Islamic values.
Okay everyone, the last material is challenges and opportunities for Muslim in responding constructively to digital technology based on an integrative Islamic paradigm. Tantangan dan peluang Muslim dalam merespon teknologi digital berdasarkan paradigma Islam integratif. The rapid growth of digital technology brings two sides at once for Muslim societies, real challenges and great opportunities. There are four challenges. The first one is fake news and misinformation. The digital era makes it extremely easy for false information to spread rapidly across social media platforms without applying the Islamic principle of tabayun. Tabayun is verifying information before sharing it. Muslims can unknowingly contribute to social conflict and moral decline in society. Jadi, di era digital ini rentan adanya pembuatan sekaligus penyebaran informasi palsu di media sosial tanpa menerapkan prinsip tabayun, yaitu memverifikasi informasi sebelum menyebarkannya. Umat Islam bisa tanpa sadar ikut memperburuk konflik sosial dan kemerosotan moral. Next is cyberbullying and online fraud. Digital platforms have become space where bullying, harassment, hate speech, and financial fraud occur freely. These behaviors directly contradict Islamic ethics, which emphasize respect, honesty, and justice in all interaction. Nah, platform digital telah menjadi ruang di mana perundungan, pelecehan, ujaran kebencian, serta penipuan finansial terjadi secara bebas. Perilaku itu bertentangan dengan etika Islam yang menekankan rasa hormat, kejujuran, dan juga keadilan. The third is digital addiction. Excessive use of smartphone, social media, and online entertainment can lead to addiction that reduces productivity and disrupts daily life. This is a growing concern, especially among Muslim youth today. Jadi penggunaan smartphone, media sosial, dan hiburan online yang berlebihan dapat menyebabkan adiksi yang menurunkan produktivitas dan juga mengganggu kehidupan sehari-hari. Ini menjadi kekhawatiran yang semakin besar, terutama di kalangan pemuda Muslim. And the last one is weakening social interaction and spirituality. Over-reliance on digital devices and distance people from face-to-face relationships, weaken family bonds, and reduce time spent on religious obligations, gradually eroding the spiritual foundation of a Muslim's life. Jadi ketergantungan berlebihan pada perangkat digital dapat menjauhkan seseorang dari hubungan tatap muka, melemahkan ikatan keluarga, dan juga mengurangi waktu untuk menunaikan kewajiban agama. Nah, hal ini tuh secara perlahan mengikis fondasi spiritual kehidupan seorang Muslim. Next, the opportunities. There are six, and the first one is online Islamic dakwah. Social media, podcasts, and digital platforms allow Islamic teachings to reach audience globally, far beyond what was possible through traditional methods. This is a powerful opportunity for spreading knowledge and guidance. Jadi media sosial, podcast, dan juga platform digital memungkinkan ajaran Islam menjangkau audiens global, jauh melampaui apa yang bisa dilakukan melalui cara-cara tradisional. Ini tuh menjadi peluang besar untuk menyebarkan ilmu dan bimbingan. The second is digital Islamic education. Online learning platforms provide easier access to Quranic studies, Islamic literature, and religious courses, making Islamic education more inclusive and accessible for Muslims anywhere. Platform pembelajaran online memberikan akses yang lebih mudah seperti kajian Al-Quran, literatur Islam, dan kursus keagamaan yang menjadikan pendidikan Islam lebih inklusif dan dapat diakses oleh umat Islam di mana saja. The third, Islamic vintage and halal business. Digital innovation has opened doors for the growth of Islam vintage, halal e-commerce, and digital entrepreneurship that operates according to Sharia principles, creating economic empowerment within the Muslim community. Jadi inovasi digital itu telah membuka peluang pertumbuhan Islam vintage, e-commerce halal, dan kewirausahaan digital yang beroperasi sesuai prinsip syariah yang menciptakan pemberdayaan ekonomi dalam komunitas Muslim. Next, global collaboration among Muslims. Technology bridges Muslim communities across the world, enabling cooperation in education, research, humanitarian aid, and social development regardless of geographical distance. Jadi teknologi menjembatani komunitas muslim di seluruh dunia yang memungkinkan kerjasama dalam pendidikan, penelitian, bantuan manusia, dan juga pembangunan sosial tanpa batas geografis. The fifth is Muslim need digital literacy and ethical awareness. To navigate the digital world wisely, Muslim must develop digital literacy, the ability to critically evaluate information, alongside strong ethical awareness rooted in Islamic values. Jadi untuk menavigasi dunia digital yang dengan bijak, umat Islam harus mengembangkan literasi digital, lalu kemampuan mengevaluasi informasi secara kritis yang dipadukan dengan kesadaran etika yang kuat berlandaskan nilai-nilai Islam. And the last one is technology should be used constructively and responsibly. The integrative Islamic paradigm reminds us that technology is a tool, not a purpose in itself. When used constructively and responsibly, it becomes a means to promote human welfare and strengthen Islamic civilization. Jadi paradigma Islam itu interaktif, mengingatkan kita bahwa teknologi adalah alat, bukan tujuan itu sendiri. Ketika digunakan secara konstruktif dan bertanggung jawab, teknologi menjadi sarana untuk meningkatkan kesejahteraan manusia dan dapat memperkuat peradaban Islam. That's all from me. Thank you for your attention, everyone.
Okay, conclusion. Digital technology has become part of modern life. Islam teaches that technology must be used ethically and responsibly. Islamic Aqidah emphasizes tauhid and human responsibility as Khalifah. The Quran and Hadith provide guidance for digital ethics. And Maqasid al-Sharia helps evaluate the impact of technology. Integration of Islamic and science creates balanced technological development. And the last one is Muslim must use technology for welfare, knowledge, and positive contribution to society. Okay everyone, that's all from us. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.